Good morning, everyone. So we will start with the lecture now. Um, Last time we saw how we are performing clash check and numbering. So today we will be looking at drawing extraction and various drawing tools. How we are going to use that tools. Right. So today it will be our last lecture. So like in last lecture we saw that how we are creating clash. Sorry, checking the clash. Okay, so after all your modeling is done, we are doing clash check. Okay, after clash check, we will be doing performing the numbering. Okay, this is a numbering setup dialog box. This one is a numbering setup dialog box where we are setting the numbering. Okay, so I will just explain how the numbering is done, setting is done. Okay, how this setting is applied, and what are the different stages of numbering, and what are the different stages when we perform this numbering or this use this setting in various different stages. Okay, so first of all, you can see here that in numbering setup. Okay, how to get this numbering setup is you have to go to drawings and reports, numbering. Okay, drawings and report menu, numbering, and go to numbering settings. Okay, then you will arrive at this numbering setup dialog box where there will be a save load option. You can load your settings from here. If you have already saved some settings, you can always go and load it from here at any time, point of time in your project, right? And from here we can save our specific settings. Okay, specific settings you can save. Now what we can do, here we are saving the settings, and this is the first tab, numbering tab, where we are seeing the options area. In options we have renumber all, use all number, check standard parts per model. Okay, now first two options are very important. These options, this is the option check for standard part. We're generally using for uh, standard parts model. Means if there are any standard markings like A1, B1, A1, A2, V1, V2. Okay, this kind of markings will be there. So some standard will be there, like number of holes, edge distances will be fixed or standardized. These parameters will be standardized, and the standard piece marks will be given to certain elements like angle, plate. Normally, angles will be standardized. There will be standardization of angles normally. So those piece marks, we need to apply those piece marks in various other models. So we can keep first model which we are preparing. So in that model itself, we can prepare a standard this thing, standard piece marks, and those marks then we can use for other models. And we can get those marks from this check for standard parts. Check for standard parts. Okay, from there we can use
तुमचं रेकॉर्ड करतात साऊंड.
So this is a numbering setup dialog box. Here generally we will be setting different options. Okay? So we are talking about these options here: renumber all, reuse old number, and check for standard plots. So as I explained, check for standard plots will be it will be automatically checking a drawing. Okay, oh, sorry, a model which will be having a standard piece mark, right? So in order to check those parts or assign those standard marks, like some standard marks are there, so we have to check here, right? If that model is not there, then just uncheck. No need to check, provide check here. Then next we have new and modified. Compared to old, take new. Compared to old, keep number if possible, and take new number. These are the options we need to select while performing numbering. Right? Then synchronize with master model. Generally, this will be used for multi-user platform. While we are using a multi-user, we will be using this synchronize with master model mode. What feature this gives is once you click here, the manual saving work will be automatically performed by Tekla, and numbering will be performed. And also a list will be shown to the user of the changes which have been done by Tekla. Okay, numbering changes log will be displayed to the user in order to user to understand what changes are performed by Tekla. Okay, so that log will be shown to the user. And
And
automatic cloning will give you a feature where, say, if some drawing is some assemblies are there, like say 10 assemblies are there, and then one assembly gets split, and it will create a different number, like 10 beams are having b1 number, and if one assembly is splitted from it, and now your b1 will be 9 numbers, and then the next splitted assembly will become b2, right? So that b2 drawing and b1 we have already detailed. We have already added dimensions and cleaning work we have done. We added welds, we added views. So all those cleaning work is done in that b1. So whatever manual work or whatever settings we have done, all these settings will be cloned in b2. So while numbering process itself, the drawing also will be cloned. Okay, if similar assemblies are getting splitted or new numbers will be assigned, then those similar assemblies or similar assemblies will be cloned. Okay, with different numbers. Similar assemblies with different number will be cloned automatically. So that is option. We have to check. We have to check this option to automatically to so that Tekla can automatically clone the drawings, right? And then here we have compare. There are some checkboxes like whole, part name, beam orientation, and column orientation. Holes, generally quantity of holes, diameter of holes, that those parameters will be compared between two assemblies. Then part name, if we are checking here, then number different names like beam, column, rafter, okay, truss, stair, all those names will be compared between two assemblies for assigning different numbers, right? Then this is a beam orientation option where based on the rotation of the beam, if we check this option, then if beam is rotated 180 degrees or 90 degrees, then the number will get changed. Okay, generally we will be keeping this off. This will not be checked. This will be unchecked always. This will remain unchecked, because even if the beam is getting rotated, it should have same number. uh, so that is a criteria, and we will never keep this checkbox on. Okay, now this one, column orientation, we have to check on. As per US standard, we'll be checking this on column orientation. Because why? Because it say if column is getting rotated, so that number needs to be different. There might be some connections coming onto the column, so we in order to uh, maintain error free erection, we need to separate those columns by orientation, by rotation of the columns. Okay, the reason is that there should not be any problem while erection of the columns, because columns are very critical for any structure. Columns are very critical, so their orientation uh, needs to be compared. Okay, so based on the column orientation, numbering marks will be separated. Okay, so that's why we will be checking, compulsory checking this column orientation on. Then here reinforcement bar, which we are generally not using in steel. So even if this is on or off, uh, it doesn't give you any change in your model, because we are not adding reinforcement bars in model. If you're doing that modeling, then it will affect the numbering. Okay, then embedded objects, even this also will not affect anything. Surface treatment also will not affect, unless we are modeling surface treatment. Welds also, welds generally we don't need to check. Then we have tolerance, where steel tolerance we have to provide as 1 mm. If it is say US detailing, then it will be 1 by 16 fraction should be provided. Then concrete, we'll keep it as it is. Whatever default will be there, sorry, that will be kept as it is. Only steel we have to check. This is very important. Steel one. This should be remain. This should remain one. Then sorting of assemblies. If we want it to be sorted, then we have these options: sorting according to the XY coordinates, XY and Z coordinates. Right? We can use these options for sorting. So these are some of the options which are available in the numbering setup dialog box. Now I will start setting it to the initial numbering or the preliminary numbering, which we will be performing for the first time. Okay, so first time numbering or preliminary numbering. Okay, so I will just add some name here. So before adding the name, what I will do, I have activated the column orientation. I have checked it, and then I have to check renumber all option, and then just say here one dash fresh numbering. You can give any kind of names, whatever you want. Right. So I am giving here one fresh numbering. Fresh numbering. So first time numbering. You can give like that also, like first time numbering. Okay. So I'm giving here fresh numbering. First fresh numbering, and I will just okay. Here I forgot to set take new number. Okay, for new take new number, modified also take new number. Okay, so first time numbering, these two things will be take new number, right? And now you can save it, just save as, so that it will be saved here. Uh, so this thing we will be using in the first time numbering. I will just apply it. Okay, and now I will use that numbering. I will use that setting to do the numbering. Okay, let's first check if the numbering was done. Yeah, numbering was done earlier, I think. Check the assembly list. Okay, so we had already performed this thing in the last lecture, report part, and here part list. Okay, so our part list was balanced for checking. Now here you can see that in part list for angle it is A, plate it will be P, plate FLT, all of them will be small p, and the member sizes, members, or the hot rolled sections, the prefix should be small. Okay, here it is showing capital, but it should be small. And here again, this is a problem, so this should be corrected in the model. And FLT to PLT, all this should have P, prefix as P, and L, this is L angle, so here also your prefix will be A. So first thing, we need to correct all these features in the model, then we have to do numbering again, right? So after numbering, after your numbering is done, then we can go ahead with creation of drawings. Okay, so now we will just see how drawings are created. So here this is drawings and reports, menu is there. In that we have to go and select drawing settings. Okay, the drawing settings, and then go to general arrangement drawings. Okay, so this will add this will show the assembly drawing, sorry, general arrangement drawing properties, right? And again, here you will find save, load, and save as buttons, and there will be a pull down menu in which preset attributes will be saved already. So these are been saved by Tekla team. Okay, so Tekla people have already saved readily for us, which is available for us, readily available for us. Also, we can add some specific settings here by making it save as. Okay, some specific to companies or some projects we can make, or we can save as and make it available in this library. Okay, we can make a library of it. So here I will add a number. I will just add the number. So this is direction drawing number, and I will just say apply. And next thing, we have to set all these options. Whatever options, some options will be standard. So some options we don't need to change. Only the required options we have to change. Like here we are seeing this is a views row. In views we have layout, views, detail view. Okay, these three buttons are there. What exactly this does that? If you go in views, we have layout. Okay, first will be the layout. First button is the layout, and in layout again there is a layout setting here. In this you are having different layouts which are designed by Tekla. Already these are designed by Tekla. Even we can design this kind of layouts in Tekla through template editor. Okay, and layout, template and layout editor, we can design these things. We can create these things in template editor, layout and templates, right? So here we have to specify the sizes. Okay, so sizes you can specify it from here. Different available sizes will be we are generating this kind of sizes. These sizes we can generate in template and layout editors. Okay, so this is a layout, and this will be the sizes available to the user. Okay, so we can set all those things automatically in the editor. Okay, so once you have all those things, we will just select this and apply it. Okay, so that those settings will be applied in the layout. Okay, so that template will be available. Template or the drawing sheet, we can say this as a drawing sheet. So your typical drawing sheet, I will just open the design drawing so that you will understand how your drawing sheets looks like. So this is your drawing sheet. It will look like somewhat like this. This is just an example, but your drawing sheet will look like this, somewhat like this, right? So this is the title of the drawing sheet. And these are the revisions. This is general notes. Then there will not symbol and the border. Okay, all this will make up your title sheet or your layout, okay, or the template, right? So that will be available here. All those settings will be available in this area, and we will be applying it from here. Okay, so whatever settings you have done, you can apply it from there layout. Then in views, we will be having uh, when we click on view, we'll get a view property. View is similar to this view. Okay, similar to what view is available in the model. It is similar, but this is drawing view. Okay, it is similar, but it is a drawing view. So all those informations contained in this model view, we can be able to see in the drawing as well. Okay, or we will be able to get the drawing, create the drawing out of that view. Okay, objects. So here first in views, view property, first option is scaling. You can scale the view and you can adjust the views. So in this sheet, the view what I'm talking about is this part. Okay. These are the various different views which are added. So this is a plan view, like framing plan. We are calling it as a plan view. This is again, this is side views or detail views in the marked in this plan. Okay, typical detail views. And then here also some details are there. Okay, so section and detail views all will be having a scale. Certain scale is there. If you can see here, all of them are not in same scale, but this is a different scale. This is a different scale. Huh? Both these are in different scales. Okay, so that this is a general scale which we'll be using for the major plans, and the details you will be modifying it manually. Detail scale. So generally, when I talk about scales, so for main views or say GA drawing plan, your scale will be around 80 to 75, or 80, 75, 80 to 100. Okay, it will depend upon the size of the structure. Sometimes you will have to make different parts. Okay, because structure is so big that it will not fit in 75 scale inside that sheet. So that time you have to split the model in different small views. Then only we will be able to then only we will be able to scale those views. Okay? Or we will be able to extract the drawings of those views. Then this is for extension of neighboring parts. Then this is shortening. Shortening generally we are using for shortening the views. So if some views is going out of the sheet lengthwise, the shortening I'm talking. This is the as per the length. Here you can see maximum cut part length. So we are talking about the lengthwise. So whichever members uh, are very long enough to be set inside a sheet, then those members can be shortened or their length can be shortened. So shortened means their length, measurement length will not be shortened, but weaving length, just it will look like it is small, but the actual length in the model will be more. Okay, so shortening means in drawing your length will be reduced in order to fit it inside the sheet. Certain objects which are very long, those will get fit inside the drawing sheet. Then we have this label. This label will generally will be, if you see the assembly this thing erection drawing, this is what we call label. Okay, this is the label. This is label for plan, this is label for the details sections. Okay, so that is a label. And then we have detail views here. Detail views is nothing but if we are showing some detail, like some small detail is there and we are showing a scaled view of that detail. So this is called a detail, right? So this detail is from this portion. Okay, it is what we have got this detail from here, and we have blown it up, or it is scaled to visually we can see. Okay, so that visually we can clearly see what is happening in that location if it is scaled properly, right? So it is scaled is increased here in order to show various things in the inside that area. Okay, so inside this area we have scaled to show more detailed view of that elements, right? So this detail is used for that purpose.
But
Then we have view label here. Again, this is the view label available here. This is a view label, detail view label, detail mark. So detail mark means there will be now here there is no mark. This is a typical detail. No? So there is no mark available. If that detail is not typical or specific to a certain area, then we will be providing a mark like detail A, like you can see here now. Okay, here this is a specific detail or unique detail, so that's why we have marked it as one, detail one. So this is detail one, this is detail two. Here you can see detail one and detail two. So these things will be available in the mark. So mark is this area we call it as a mark one and two. And here we are setting the text for format of those. Okay, here we can set the text, color, and font. So three properties and position. Okay, so these four properties we can set for this mark. Okay, little mark. You can set these four properties. Then again, in view label also we are having those options. Like if we go in the settings, mark settings, here also we have this color, height, and font. uh, label. Again, when I go in dimension, so now these three we understood what these three are. Then we will go in next, that is dimension. So in dimension you will see that different dimension types are available here. We can choose from it. Generally dimension types will be assigned as per your environment. So whatever environment you are choosing, this will be automatically assigned to the specific model. So we don't need to change this at any point of time. But say for example there is a different requirement from client, like in metric you need an imperial dimension, then we can then we need to change this thing, like. Okay, so here also, and here angle is there, so angle we can provide it like a triangle or this degrees. Okay, generally in steel structure we'll be providing a triangle this way, so that it is easy to understand. Okay, instead of degrees, triangle will be provided. So distance, horizontal and vertical distance will be provided in order to get the angle of that this thing, sloping member or any sloping element is there, then we are giving this triangle. And this is the base length of that triangle. And shortening units, this thing also will be set as per the environment you choose. Automatically this will be loaded, so we will be keeping it as automatic. Then we have precision where we can set rounding of precision means we can say that say if we have a dimension 0.75 and we keep the 0. 0.5 precision, then that 0.75 will be rounded off to 1 mm directly, right? And then we have this angle here. So that was for metric thing. This is for imperial. For inches there will be fraction roundings, and in metric it will be decimal roundings. And then here we have angle. For angle also there will be roundings available. Then this is format. In format you are having different formats. This is also set as per the environment what we choose. So we don't need to worry, or we don't need to change anything here. But it is available. Like this is a decimal 0 point. Say this is one factor, so one unit. Okay, then if there is a two decimal units, so you can choose this option. If there is three decimal unit, you can choose this option. Now this bracket, one is having bracket, one is not having bracket. So what does that means? That if this is if you are using this content without bracket, then it will be forcefully added 0 point 0. And this thing, if there is any uh, decimal after point, any decimal number is available after point, if it is available, then only it will be shown, or else it will be blank. Same thing applies for this. Like for example, if the number is 3.25, then you can see with this format. If that 3.25 is not available, say it is 3.1, then or it is 3.0, then this will not apply. Uh, so and if you are using this option, then it will forcefully add double zeros. If it is 3, if your number is 3, so it will forcefully add two zeros in that. So this is the difference between two options. One will recognize if there is decimal, then only it will add, and another is forcefully adding the decimal places, right? So, and this is for fractions. Again, this is used for imperial units. Okay, or and here there is angle. We can generally angle, it will be in decimal only. Then grouping and placing, and this short dimensions also. This generally we will not use much. So we'll move on to the next, that is appearance. So in appearance also we are setting the line and arrow settings, like color of the line, shape of the arrow, what kind of shape you required for the arrow. Okay, and what is the size of that arrow. So this also we can define it from here. And again text, so dimension, in dimension also there will be text available. So for that text we are having this option to choose color, what kind of height it is we need to set, and what font we need to add. So we can add it from here directly, those font. And then we have this frame option here. Generally dimension we don't need to frame. Okay, and in place we are keeping this first option only in frame. Okay, so all those things we need to set in dimensions. Okay, then dimensioning, in dimensioning also there is many complex settings are there, which in GA, this is general arrangement drawing. So in GA drawing, not much thing is there available. But when we go in, but when we go in the assembly or single part drawing, then we have uh, many features available for setting different rules. Okay, so this dimensioning properties for setting the rules. Dimensioning rules are defined in that, so that you will get certain kind of dimensions in your drawing, which are required for a specific purpose. So also many times I have seen that our people are not much aware of this dimensioning area, because of the time constraint, they will not do research on this area. So this is something related to a research part. Okay, if you are using this dimensioning, you need to do some research, like you have to add and check what kind of changes are available, or what kind of features are available in that, right? So this is also a great feature in Tekla structures for adding different kind of dimensioning rules. Okay, then we have this part mark. In mark, we have part mark, bolt mark, neighboring part mark. So these two are very important marks, and welding mark is also important. So these three marks are very important. Part mark. In part mark also you can we have available contents here. Different contents are there: assembly, part, profile, materials. All these contents are available, and content for main part, secondary part, and then Here also, here you can specify color, height and Arial this in font. And in general we'll be having different other this thing settings which we can perform, like presentation of your leader line for that mark. So how it needs to be presented, that setting is given here. And if you need any frame, so those options will be available here. Frames option, different kind of frames are available. And this is for color, frame color. And arrow, what kind of arrow you can you have to use for your leader line, so it is defined from here. This is for leader line property, this is leader line property, right? So similar thing will be available in the bolt mark also, like content will be there, but now this bolt mark will be related to the content will be related, bolt mark content will be related to the bolt or hole. Okay, so you can see here bolt length, bolt diameter, hole diameter, so all the contents are related to bolt. Okay, all the features which are available in bolt. And in general you can see it is similar to the part mark. Okay, these features are similar to the part mark, right? Then we'll go in weld marks. In weld mark, weld mark also generally will be setting the visibility of which kind of weld you need in the model. Sorry, in the drawing. So those weld we can activate from here. Say for example side, then we can just say apply and modify it so that it is available, right? And this is a weld size limit. So generally if say all the welds by default are 6 welds, so we'll be providing a 6 so this 6 and below 6 weld will not be visible in the drawing. Okay, that's the reason this is a weld size limit. So limit is set to 6 then 6 and below welds will not be shown in the drawing. So all the higher welds only will be shown. So now there is 4 given here. We can see this 4 value is there. So that means that 4 and below 4 welds will not be shown and 6 weld will be shown. So when we put here 6, then below 6 and 6, all those welds will not be shown in the drawing. Right? And here we are having a different options which we can make it visible or uh, on or off. Okay, we can turn those visibility on or off. Okay, different settings are there. And then lastly here there is appearance. In appearance we can set the welding line color, text color, this is welding line color, and type, then welding text, color, height and font. These settings are there, right? So that was in a mark. And this is neighboring part mark. Generally neighboring part mark means say for example this is the assembly drawing for this member. We have created an assembly drawing for this member. So this is say B2, this is B2. So we have a assembly drawing for B2. Generally you will see the views which are related to B2 only. You will not see another this thing, um, another assemblies in that. So if you need any other assemblies or connecting assemblies, then we need to add it from here. Okay, neighboring part and neighboring part mark, right? These two features are for adding the neighboring part. So this is for this beam drawing, this will be the neighboring part, this will be neighboring part. So whatever is getting connected at the ends or through secondary parts, now this is getting connected to secondary parts, and column is getting connected on the ends, opposite ends. So this columns, bracings, and this column, these all are the neighboring parts for this member, this drawing. Okay, so in this drawing all this will be set a neighboring part. Okay, and the mark, and this is for setting the mark. So that mark setting you can also see which assembly neighboring part is available on which side. So this is just for checking, means it is for checking, like if you don't want to go in the model, you can simply check it on the drawing directly. Okay, so that is the reason we are providing this one. Then we have objects, part, bolt, weld, grid. Okay, these are the important part. If you go in part, we have representation. First is representation, in that you have all these options. For representation, hidden lines can be turned on off. Center line we can turn on off from here for different conditions. Also reference line. Now center line and reference line, there are two different options given here. Center line is your geometric center. Okay. So for the column, geometric center will pass through the center, center of the column, and the reference line also will pass through the center. So it will pass through yellow and pink point. Hmm. Reference line and center line is also passing through that center only. So both are in same position, because column is uh, aligned in the center. Okay, nodes are in the center of the web. Okay. But for beam, what happens? Beam point is on top surface. Okay, node point is at top surface. So in that, what happens? Reference line will come on top, and center line will come in the center of the web. Okay, so that is the difference between a center and reference line. So center line is basically the geometric center point of that specific member. Okay, and reference lines are based on the work points. These are the working points of the member: yellow point and pink point. And then we have here additionally orientation marks and connection side marks, which we will be using most frequently in your all the projects. Okay, connection side marks generally will be depend on client requirement, but orientation mark we have to provide. Okay, by default we have to provide this orientation mark, because this orientation mark defines the position of the member in model or in GA drawing. So assembly drawing will be having this orientation mark, assembly and erection drawing. Part drawing it is not required. Only in assembly drawing and erection drawing it is required, in order to understand the orientation of any part. Okay, so that was in part. Then we have bold property here. In bold property, you have various in content we have various options like solid bold, and symbol means symbol. Okay, symbol means that will be a drawing symbol, drawing symbolic representation of a bolt. Okay, so we'll be keeping symbol 3. Generally we'll be keeping for assembly drawings and part drawings. Okay, assembly and part drawings generally will be having most of the cases, like 90 to 99% symbol 3 will be used in case of assembly and single part drawing. Okay. Then in appearance we have color. So color setting can be performed from here. Okay. Then we have weld. Here from here we can perform the welding. We can add the welding content like site weld or shop weld, whichever we have to keep it visible. And in appearance, here also we have limit. Okay, weld size limit. Generally weld we are not showing the drawing, so we will not be generally using this weld to show in the drawing. Only weld mark is required. So what is the size of that weld and what is the type of that weld, that is required, but the actual weld uh, may not be required in the model. So generally we'll be not using this welding to show in the drawing, to show weld inside the drawing, right? Then we have this grid option here, where we can turn the visibility of grid on and off, and we can switch over the tags. These are the tags. We can switch over from their locations, and there are 4 different locations for those tags to display, right? Then grid line color we can choose it from here. Type, You can choose it from here. And text again, for text there is a common parameters like color, height, font, and here we have frame. So frame also we can choose from there. And then lastly we have this filter option here. Filter is similar to the grouping available in model. Okay, similar to the grouping option, like we have used this grouping option for adding some filters. So similar way, but this is in model. So similar model filter is available in drawing also. Okay, in drawing also we can add different filters to filter out certain objects. Like in drawing, if we don't need certain elements, then we can filter out those from here. And this is neighboring part filter. Neighboring part filter, if you have any neighboring part, also we can filter out those parts from here, right? So once all this is done, all the setting is done, then we can save it. Then we can save it from here directly, like say my a1 dash ga. Okay, so this is my specific setting, so I'm saving it. I will just say save, and then I will go ahead and prepare the GA drawing. So how that GA drawing will be prepared? We have to go in drawings and reports and go to create general arrangement drawing, right? So we will get this option for creating the GA drawing. Okay, now these are the available views from which we can generate the GA drawing. Okay, so except 3D, we need all the GA drawings. 3D generally we will be not showing in erection drawing, but in some clients required 3D also. So in that case, we can add this 3D, but generally it is not uh, required to add 3D or create a 3D drawing, right? So we'll choose all the listed views other than 3D. We have selected it, and here you have the options like one drawing per view. So all these views, seven or eight views, will be having seven different drawings. Or if we choose this option, selected views to one drawing, then all these views will be created in one single drawing, right? So I will just select this one so that we will have a different drawings for different views. So I will just create. I will simply create this, and now here you can see that those drawing views are created. I will just go and open, and here you can see that view is created. Now what we can do, I will just go to properties. So this is a property which we are setting generally. Now it is not set. We have not set anything, so this is by default. So what we can do, we can set it the properties from here. Like for sheet, we can go here. Now in order to change the sheet, drawing view, you can set it from here. Like for example, here also 50 is quite good enough. No need to change anything in there. Shortening label also is okay. Label, yeah, label we can change. Like say for example, label, now it is very dark, so we can make it a little bit brighter. And also this one, we'll change it to red. uh, Below, so we are adding that feature. But that red color is not changing, so we'll just still we can change it from here directly. You can go to the properties directly. We can go to the properties and we can change. this thing. If it is not changing from this general properties, then we'll just change it from here, label. Okay, here we can change it, modify. So this thing is a direct change, and this is a direct change, and this one which we perform, this is a global change. Okay, global. So these changes which we are making here, it will be affected in all the views. And when I select this view, then only the specific, or I select some part, or I select some weld, so the specific changes will be updated in that area only. Okay, so now I'll just close this, cancel this, and next, dimension. Dimensions standard. The grid dimensions on, so that the dimensions will be overall dimensions on, dimension position right hand side, we need it in left hand side, and below we need it on above. Okay, right? So that way we need these dimensions, so we have set it according to our requirement. Then in property, dimension property, say we are changing this color to our desired this thing. So now you can see that color is changed, right? So if you need to change this thing, you can change it from here, types, then mark. We are having this mark property here. Now this is a 12-meter plan. So what we can do, we have to increase the depth to see the other purlins also. Now we are only some purlins are available because of the view depth. So what we can do, extension for neighboring parts, right? So we need to increase this setting to 5000 in order to see the in order to see the extension. Okay, now it is not working. So what we can do is that we can go in this uh, property directly there, and directly edit here in the view property like this. We need it as 5000. So I've changed it, and now we can see that the other plugins are also available, which are, if you're not, will not be, we were not able to see generally, right? So that is as per the view, and then we will set the part. Okay, like the part color, this is the outline. So we don't need this outline thing, so we'll need the symbol with partial profile. So we will select this option. Now you can see that the presentation of the purlin is changed now, right? And appearance also, if we need say yellow line, so we'll keep this is yellow. Okay, then for bolt, say this bolt, we need the bolt as green, and the content symbol 3. Right? Generally we'll be using symbol 3 everywhere. So these are the changes which we have performed. That is okay. So, and then we have this bolt. We have set bolt to symbol 3 and color. Weld, In erection drawing, it is not required to show the weld. If it is a uh, site weld, then only we need to show it here. Okay. So now we can see it is available here. So in weld, it is available here, like site weld, workshop weld, whatever weld we have to show, it is available here, and the appearance of that weld is given here. Right? Then we have this grid setting. We can do the grid settings here, like color of the grid line, center line, text is as per this one, and this is the frame. Okay, so this way we can set the properties, right? And once all the properties are set, this thing will keep it as outline, right? And only in the specific drawings we need it as normal. So my A1G, I will just set it my A1 dash GA, my A1 dash G. I will save it again, so that I will get the specific properties, whatever properties I have shown here. So I will get only those properties, right? Hidden lines. So again, also orientation mark. So this is very important, orientation mark. Again, I will save it A1 dash GA. I'll save it. Now what I can do, I can use it for other locations also, or other plans also. So I will go in other plan. Now this plan is set. We already set. One more thing we have missed to call the mark. Okay, mark we have not added. So part mark is very important. Main part assembly position. With now visibility is none. So we'll keep it as preferred. Preferred visible. Yes. Then just say modify in order to see all the marks. Okay, now all the marks will be visible here. You can see it here. Secondary, we don't need a secondary mark. We will remove it. Secondary marks are not required. Only the primary main part marks are required. We'll change the size, color, and say we need a member size here. What member is actually there? So I will just add enter. This is called enter. This is called space. I will add a enter, and then I will add a profile here this way, right? So now you can see it is available now. So these are the different options available. Now what I can do, I don't need this. So first I will save it. So now these settings are applied. My A1 dash G. So these are the final settings now. And next thing, I will remove the unwanted marks like beam. I will show it in another view. So no need to show beam columns here. So I will just simply remove the beam columns marks, and I only need to show the purlin marks here, right? So in this way, we have shown the purlin marks, and now I will change the setting specific to this view only. So I will just keep this symbolic partial profile. So now it is clean, right? Visibly it looks clean. So now I close. I will just say yes, and I will go in the second drawing. So second drawing is for 10 meters. So 10 meters there is nothing available there. So this thing we don't need.
and this is 5 meter. Yeah, 5 meter is required, so I will just simply go in these properties. I will load the settings which we have made in the first drawing, and I will simply modify it. So now you can see those properties are directly applied here now. Hmm. Also in part hidden line you have to add, and one more property is that is reference line. So now we have the reference line also added. Right? This for this view, particular view only we require this reference line because there are bracings. So in order to show those bracing gauge lines, we need to add those lines. Right? Now here you can see that something is problem is there. Like this plate is created separately, so we have to change this in model. So in GA drawing, we can check the GA drawings. Checking can also be done in the GA drawing. Right? I will simply delete this unwanted column is not required here. In plan, will not be showing columns. Only column marks will be shown in the first level only. Also, vertical bracings no need to show here, right? Only this information is required. Beams and vertical bracing, right? Also, view label is not set correctly, so we will just set the view label. View label. So now it is done. Only one thing, we need to add a dimension here. So what we can do, I will go to the dimensioning tool. This is a dimensioning tool for adding dimension, horizontal dimension. Before adding, I will just apply the properties of this dimension. Apply, okay. So then I will create a dimension, horizontal dimension this way, right? So now I have a dimension here, new dimension I have added. Then one more dimension is required vertically to show this intersection point. Also, these are in line with this point. So what I will do, I will go to line, draw a line. Different options are there available here: polygon, arc, cloud. So I simply add a line here and then connect it to this point. So I have a line now. What I will do, I will remove these arrows. Arrows are not required. So on this color will be red, and this will be shown as a center line. So why I am showing this line? Because this it will tell the user or the checker that this dimension is in line, or this center or dimension which we have shown. So all these bracings are in the center of those dimensions, right? So no need to show separate dimensions of for these locations. So only one dimension is enough, and you can show a center line for anyone to understand. Okay? So this is the final outcome of your drawing. So I will just close it. Then we'll go to next drawing. So this is a base plate or the column plan. Again, I will go to properties and load our settings here. And with this, you get the column plan. Okay, so bracing don't need, no need the bracing. I will remove the bracing marks. I will remove it from here. and only the column marks are visible now. Okay. So this is how your column plan will look like. And one more thing, if you can see here, the radius is not visible here. So what I can do, I will go to properties, part, and instead of this outline, I can use another different option, that is exact. Right? So in exact, you can see the rounding radius is drawn now correctly. Right? So these are the different options you can use while creating the drawing. Right? So that was erection drawing. Then I will just close it and we'll go to next drawing. And here we have an elevation drawing here now. Again, I will load that presetting. So here you can see that my work is reduced now because of this setting. Okay, my work is reduced because I don't need to recreate all those settings again and again, right? So this is very handy tool. So only unwanted parts will remove, and only which parts are required will be shown here. So that's it. Now here again we'll be setting the label. Now before going forward, I need a line here, so I will add a center line from this location to here. There is a center line, and just add the horizontal dimension to show that center line is in actual center of the grid this way, right? So this is how we show the dimension. Now here we need to show the slope of this member because this is an inclined member. So I just pick here, pick this point, and pick on the here you can see there is a dimension added. Now this thing we have to convert it to triangle this way. Okay, then we are showing this triangle for measurement of the slope, okay, or the degree we are not showing. Generally in civil engineering or civil detailing, we'll be showing this slope triangle for measurement, right? Or measurement of a degree, right? So that's it, and we'll go to the next view. So this is similar to the other views also. So we have to perform the um, same steps which we have shown, I have shown you in this drawing. So all these drawings will be edited in the similar fashion and cleaned. So this is just a cleaning work. We are loading and cleaning the drawing. Just again, you will get this setting, and you have to apply all the changes which we have done in this view. You have to apply it in this view. Similarly, here also same thing. Now this is also elevation. You just load that sheet, load, modify, apply, okay, finish. Again, go to the next drawing. This is a side elevation. Here also we will load the required settings in side elevation, and then yes, save the drawing. Again, same thing. We will load the setting. If those settings are available, now what we have generated it from scratch. The settings were generated it from scratch. That's why we are loading it in all the drawings. But say it is already available, then we will directly apply the settings from here. Okay, we'll apply it from here directly. Okay, so no need to modify each and every item in this way. Right? This is why we are modifying, because we have created it from scratch. From zero we have created. So this is the way we will be adding creating the GA drawings, erection drawings, or the GA drawings, which we can say. Now for we'll go for the assembly drawing now. We'll see how assembly drawings will be created. For assembly drawing, you have to select this assembly option here and use the part option. Now for creating an assembly, you have to select some assembly here and then go to drawing properties again, assembly drawing. Now we have some similar features which were available in uh, GA drawing. Okay, so similar features are available here. Okay, like layout, hmm, view, section view, detail view, all those things which were available in GA drawing. So same things are available here also in assembly drawing. Okay, this is an assembly drawing scale. You can set scale in this, and this is for the layout. So this we saw in GA drawing also, it is available. You can choose the different layouts which we have created for a certain project. Okay, now here there are some standard views we can keep. Here there is a view property. Right? View property is provided here. This is the view property. Here the same thing is available, like whatever will be available in that view property. Direction drawing, same things are available here, but presentation is in a different way, like mark objects. So you can set all these properties. Okay. So in GA drawing we saw the same thing where described in a button type of format. Now here it is described in tree view structure. Okay. This we call it as a tree view structure. Same things are there: part, bold, part mark, bold mark. Right? These are the important things. Attributes, view attributes. So all these things we have to set it from here, and after setting, we can save it. Okay. So if you need to save, you can simply add a1 dash assembly. Okay, and just say save. So that setting will be saved here now. Okay. If you need a setting here, style setting, it can be saved here directly. Right. So those are the settings which we can do in assembly drawing also. Assembly drawing property. So after doing the changes in the property or saving the desired sheets, you can just create assembly drawing from here. So whatever is selected there, that assembly drawing will be created here. Okay, so those assembly drawings. So now you can see the column assembly drawing is created. We will open it and we will see. So like we created properties for GA, we can create properties for this also. column also. View properties. Go to view properties, and in view properties we can set again go to view properties, model overview. So that old property is not available, showing new kind of property. I will just open it again. I will just reopen the model because I have done some settings. Now I will open the model drawing again. Go to the properties again. Now, the old so dimension. So this is the rule of the dimensions or dimensioning rules, which we can define it from here. Go in the appearance. what we can do, we'll go to the view properties. View, run view properties. We go to dimensioning properties, and under appearance, we'll set text line color to red, black, and text as Arial. Arial. Okay, and we'll save it as my dim. I'll just save it, and then we'll go to the property. Then we'll go to part. Mark and object. Now in object appearance, we need to change this to yellow. Modify. Just modify it. So for front view, front, top, and bottom. Front, top, and bottom view. So this is new standard 3. We'll check in this new standard 3. This is new standard 3. So here we will set as yellow, and save it. Close. And now we will modify, simply modify it, so that change it to 3, so that the color should be yellow. Yeah, it is correct. So we have successfully changed the color. Okay, so we have to go in this view property again, and this new standard 3 we have to change. We have changed the object. Similar way, we can go in dimensioning and change the rule here. Here, my dimension, right? So this thing we have created, my dimension. I will just click here, save, new, yes, and save. Oh, sorry, save, close. Again, to apply this property, we have to apply some other property and reapply. We have to reapply those settings. Again, see and modify. So now our, yeah, properties are applied now. Whatever we have changed, those properties are applied now here. Also, these things we can change as per new standard 3. So these views also will be same. Section views. Okay, these are also changed now. Okay, so this way we can apply the property, and then we can edit those drawings. So whatever changes we required, we can add those changes here and make it more presentable. Or the setting, we can make it more presentable, or quality we can improve through these settings, or we can make it specific to some standards provided by the uh, client. Similarly, we have to work on the uh, part drawings as well. So now I will show you just how to create the part drawing. Say for example, this is a part. For part, you need to activate this uh, selection filter, so that you will be able to select the single part of this model. Go to drawings and report and settings, single parts. So these are the single part settings. So we simply create the single part with standard settings. So now you can see a single part drawing is created here with standard setting. And like we have done setting for the assembly, we can do the settings for this single part as well. So similar setup is available in single part also. We can do the settings in this single part also, similar to the settings which we did in assembly drawing. Right? I will just save it, and once we have made all those settings, uh, this one I will save it as assembly. Okay, property, and simply save it. Let's save it, and this one also we will save it as part, or you can say single part, single parts, or single part. And here say my parts. Save it. Okay, then property, part. Now for all the other elements also we can create the drawings in this manner. Drawing settings, assembly drawing. You can load that settings, settings which we have created. You can load it from here. Assembly, apply, okay, right, and then create assembly drawing. Okay, right. We will select the assemblies first. All the assemblies select and say create assembly. So now this is for so first we created a single assembly. We set some attributes there, and then those attributes will be applied for other assemblies also, right? So this way we have to create the assembly drawing and single part drawings. Now single part also we have to create in this fashion only. Only thing is that selection we have to change. Okay, selection we will keep it as this one, okay, for the part. And in drawings and reports we have to go in drawings and reports and create part drawings. Once drawings are created, you can add a revision. When drawings are created and completed, we can add a revision in that. This will take some time because for adding creating assembly drawings, generally it will take some time. अशी मार खाणार आहे त्याचा. मी तुला होमवर्क करायला सांगितलेलं. होमवर्कला अजून तो हात लावला नाहीस. Yes, now it is done. So now you can see The assembly drawings are created. Similar way, we have to create the parts also, but we have to activate the part filter. This is for selecting the parts. Now the parts are selected, so we can create single parts. Okay, so this way the drawings will be generated. So we'll be generating the drawings, and once your drawing cleaning work is completed, then we'll be sending it to the shop or for approval, either for approval, and once it is approved, then we can send it to the workshop. Okay. One clients gets it approved, we will send it to the workshop, right? So now parts are also done, and you can go and check. Parts are also done. Okay. Parts, GA, and assembly drawings. So this way, and then we can simply select all the drawings and add the revisions in it. Okay. So whatever standard is there, one, or say for example, if it is issued for approval, then A. So whatever initial we are adding, we can get it from your senior person or the team leader, and there, and here we need to add the date. This one, and say create. Okay, once the revision is created, you can go and check. Once you open the drawing, you can see the revision will be available here. Okay, revision date issued for approval. Also in assembly, also you can check if that revision is added or not. Here it is added. Also in part, single part drawing also you can see, yes, revision is added here. So that is the way we are creating the assembly drawings, direction drawing, and single part drawings. And then next step will be to clean those drawings, okay, with the given tools. The tools are available in your drawing editor, so those tools you have to use, like some tools we saw today, adding dimensions, adding line. Okay. So that is the way we are performing the um, drawing creation, and once drawings are completed, we will be sending it for approval. Okay, so that's it for today's session.